Welcome. I'm glad you could join us. I'm Doug Skinner, your host. For today's Fireside Chat, a series about the journey of a data analyst. It's for sales leaders, revenue generators, business operators, brand and marketing experts, product managers, even engineers and developers that are working on agentic workflows. And some of the problems today emerging that I see as a function of data analysis expands beyond the back office. There are, in addition to that problem, there are the content creation. Used to be for SEO, right? It gives way to content for LLMs and as the primary audience, and the rise of agentic workflows and operations that are sweeping businesses. The importance of data as a strategic value to all parts of our business is exploding. I'm really amazed and optimistic about the future and the current trends. And because of that, I'm sharing my journey. And I want you to sign up for future episodes. You can do that at getwebteam.com/gaps, where we will continue the series. And it's called Journey of a Data Analyst. So what's happened since we were on this journey last month? I've been exploring, and some days are red letter days, right? So today is Valentine's Day. Red letter days. Have you got your red letter day? There are springtime events coming up. For me, it's Giants baseball. Bob Melvin coaching, and Buster Posey the lead. It promises to be a new start, and new start in the gardens. Those are some of the reasons why data analysis is important for me. Since we met last month, I got my certificate with Dashboard in a Day on Power BI. I think it goes a long way towards the ultimate goal. I've attended a number of events, Data for AI meetup, open source, using graph databases, integrating systems, implementing machine learning with developers. I've done AI automation technologies and strategy with the idea of go-to-market through Pavilion, and looking at things like the foundation strategies and technologies and the landscape and what's likely to be useful for go-to-market strategy, unlocking go-to-market efficiencies, understanding the power of AI and automation, automating GTM engines and practical tools and strategies for success, comparing different automation tools, selecting the right one based on the budget and the workflow needs, developing a step-by-step plan, and supercharging personalization, for example, and prediction and decision making. So far, there's more. I spent a day in San Francisco, AI Day at the Google offices. This is a picture of that day, quite cloudy, and also showing some of the speakers. Charles Mock from Stanford University, Daniel Riedel, founder at a venture studio, David Aronchick, who's CEO for Expanso.io, David Issa, vice chair for the Internet Society and looking at AI technology and human experiences, Jacob Cantor from the law firm of Crowell and Mooring, did developer relations from Neo4j, and graph data scientist at Neo4j. I took away a lot. K8's GPT was one of our exercises, building out Kubernetes cluster capability, and Kubeflows. So machine learning toolkits for Kubernetes. So promises to be a brave, bold future for the engineers that want to dive deeper. My lessons coming away from those events is mostly around agents, and I have some projects that I want to tether to business outcomes. What are the business outcomes? Things like role play and for negotiations and sales meetings, things like devising a top of funnel type lead generation. I think this is really important to aid with VPs of sales and account executives that are buried under more pressure than ever to produce more with less in faster times. And then the third thing would be, can my AI agents, be tacticians in social media realm to build audience, to create content, to sharpen my message, to make it better on YouTube channels, blogs, event spaces like Luma, Meetup, and Eventbrite. So, enroll a research agent to help me with things like refining the ICP for different audiences, right? Or for top of funnel sales efforts, and realize these are not simple. If you have multiple clients in different verticals and different industries, representing if you're representing different products, different segments, different geographies, you can see that your ICP work and on top of all that functions, right? So if the buyer's team has all these different functions, you've got a dynamic array of variables that make it very challenging to nail it with the ICP. And I believe that agentic workflow for sales could certainly harness, close the gaps, on some of those things. So those are examples of agentic work that I'm looking at accomplishing and what the tasks are, and why I believe the journey here with the AI is really we're just in the beginning and it's exciting. I learned recently in Pavilion's AI and automation working group types of agents. The distinctions here are quite new and rather interesting. We are familiar with the kind that help filter our inbox, right? So we can have automate that repetitive action from bogus emails that might end up there and save some time, right? So we're building on that though with model-based reflex agents, which work like self-driving cars. It could be a smart CRM alerts, and the business impact there could be improve the responsiveness in decision making by recognizing patterns in customers' behaviors. I think that really could close the gap for professionals that are looking to optimize the results they get in the time that they have. Goal-based agents. These are ones like GPS in a car is quite a common use case. Sales playbooks for sales enablement can really sharpen gaps with respect, sharpen focus on what gaps might exist with sales teams or sales leaders that are trying to implement new processes or get better at converting ratios at different stages in the sales cycle, or shorten the onboarding time for new sales hires. So then the next one would be utilities based agents, which would be AI powered personal assistants, which we've been feeding the prompt bots forever, right? For the chat bots for a long time now. Seems like forever. Last year and a half, 2 years. But we want to go utility based personal assistance. Can we expand that to prioritize actions based on the business value, right? Such as scheduling meetings to maximize sales efficiency, such that we can enhance our resource allocation if we're limited on that, and improve our decision making. These feed right into data analysis, right? So can we do that? And then learning agents is the new frontier where they're continuously learning, and through data-driven insights, things that like recommendations for the best pricing strategy, or the best way to spend time during the day, or the ideal customer profile for a campaign, or a product offering that's coming into the time schedule, right, or into on the radar. And the business value here is, of course, you can increase your revenue opportunities by refining your targeting, and that's done with learning agents. So we have for the brave few that want to embrace this agentic world. It behooves us to learn about these things, and those are some of the things that relate to my long-term picture of success, being able to do that. I asked the group the question: a good way forward, and with things like these agents, the tasks that I was looking for, right? Role play, negotiations, top of funnel lead generation, research assistance to get better with ICP, building out the ICP, um, and guidance around things like that. And I got some responses in one of my groups. The point here is become a member in a cohort that you can lean into. You can ask questions and get smarter, because things are moving fast and people want to help. If you get in the right group, you're going to learn the right things from the right people, and you'll shorten your learning curve. So this has been one of my key secrets this last year. Um, and now we come to my lessons learned with data analysis in Power BI. I do have an example I want to share. This one goes into, let's see here. Here we go. So here's what the report view looks like. A report that I made showing U.S. sales over the course of time. There's a trend in there too. And if you haven't seen the Power BI dashboard in a report, this is what it looks like on the desktop. Okay, and uh, behind that report there are tables, right? So this is the table view, and I'm just showing you some of the columns that are associated with the different tables. This is the customer table, right? So it has all this data, and it's presented in a tabular manner, and there's like 18,000 rows in this table of customers. Then there's another table here. You can look at this date table. Transformation in time is a big field in analytics. The business value of this um, is tethered to time. It could be tethered to geography, right? So here's another table for geography. Here's one with respect to targets. Here's one with sales. Okay, I think this sales table could be the fact table, because it's rather large. There's like 60,000 rows. Then you've got your products, right? So this is going to have less rows. Here you've got 600 products in this data set. Product category, sales territory. Then here you may have not have seen this in Excel, but this is the measure. These are the measure table, right? So you've got your DAX, right? So we've been dabbling in DAX. We've got the measurements on the different fields within the table. So you can see, if you look right in here, examples of what I'm talking about, right? So I'm dabbling in DAX and working on expanding my data analysis skills. This is new for me, and if you're on the data journey, You'll come up on this pretty soon if you start working on it, right? So you can see some of these measurements and table, and of course there's the model view as well. So stay with it. Your data journey promises to have exciting outcomes. Make commitments. What are you going to do next month? How are you going to progress? Here's how I'm going to progress. Let me share. I'm committed to achieving a migration with a CRM that's legacy for me and move into a new one or better architecture. I am looking at working on a blog agent, right? Something that I just issue some prompts and get some drafts with AI on the back end. And then it goes from prompts and conversation and tweaks and edits to a blog post on WordPress, agentically enhanced. And then I've got a promise to do LinkedIn and or YouTube posts with a more keen focus with the narrative dimension to the data, and certainly continue my Power BI certification training too. That's a big one. And so that's what I got going. What have you got going? Next steps. Join me. I'll be online again with you in another month. The topic of this series that I'm doing is called the Data Driven Evolution. And it's a revenue operator's journey to mastering analytics. And go to getwebteam.gaps, and you'll find it. You'll find it there. And remember, it's Valentine's. It's a red letter day. It's your red letter day. Let's do this. We can do this on the data analyst journey. All out. See you next month.